Hey man, this some shit I want to talk about, man, because I remember you said this on stage one night, and I thought this was incredible. So Will Smith discovered you at the Laugh Factory.
Laugh Factory. I remember the day like it was yesterday. And I always tell the story because I feel like it's inspiring
Yeah.
that you never know what can happen.
Yeah.
And I am the epitome of being in the right place at the right time. That's kind of like the story of my life because the question I always get is, yo, I didn't find out you were a writer on the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Did you take writing class? Did you go to writing school? Like, how did that happen? And I tell people the honest truth. I was just in the right place at the right time. July 2nd, 1992. I was a broke stand-up comic. I had $11 in my pocket. I'd only been doing comedy maybe a year. And amateur night sat in a 13-hour line at the Laugh Factory.
13-hour line.
13 hours just to go up and do 3 minutes on amateur night. Got off stage. Will Smith was literally sitting in the front row of the comedy club. And this was way before he was slapping niggas, right? So, so thank God he didn't slap my ass. And the first thing he said, we took me to the side. He's like, yo, man, you real funny. I always want to do stand-up comedy. He goes, well, my name is, I was like, I know who you are.
Right.
You're Will Smith. He goes, yeah, man, I got this funny-ass TV show. I was like, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I watch it every week.
The number one show
right,
that 30 million niggas are watching?
Exactly. It had only been on 2 years. He goes, well, let me ask you a question. He goes, do you write? I'm like, nigga, you got a pen? Right. He was like, he goes, do you think you could come down and help us with some funny stuff? Like what you did on stage tonight? I was like, hold on. Let me check my schedule. Yes, nigga, I'm available. He goes, when do you think we could come down? I'm like, shit, now?
Right.
Can I get a ride with you? Rest was history. I was there the next day, bro. The next day.
Do you remember what jokes you told that night for him to be like?
I don't.
I feel you.
Dude, it's crazy you bring that up. I have people take like a LeBron James or D Wade or some of the famous people that have come up to me over the years. Nigga, do you still do the joke about da-da-da-da-da? And I'm like, bro, let me tell you something. I would have to watch my own specials to remember some of those jokes. I've always been a writer and I've always tried to like move on. So but they'll break it down. Nigga, I was in 8th grade, nigga, and you said, and then I'm like, nigga, I need to bring that back. That was funny as a motherfucker. Like, a lot of stuff I don't remember unless I watch a YouTube and remember. But I was like, but there has been some times, I'm not gonna lie, that like when YouTube came up,
right?
I was like, I'll look back at one of my old jokes and I'll be in a city. I'm like, nigga, I'm using that one tonight.
I gotta pull that out.
Yeah, it's almost like, great music. Great music stands the test of time. Some of the greatest artists we've ever known. You have sang that song 100 billion times. You know the whole routine. You know the whole video, but every time it comes on, it's like the first time.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the same thing what we do. And it's a compliment when you could use a joke that's 12, 14, 15 years old, and it's still relevant to this day. Because I know there's a lot of comics, again, not mentioning names, right. And I know you could agree with me that you might watch them for 20 minutes and after you not remember one fucking thing that guy said. Either it just wasn't interesting, or it wasn't funny, or it's like,
Yeah, man.
Correct?
No, that's a fact, man. I mean, that's actually a piece of advice that Kevin told me. He saw me super young, and that's when Tori was doing, his ex-wife was doing stand-up.
Okay.
And he came to Ha Ha Comedy Club to see Tori. And so I was like, oh, shit, Kevin Hart's in the building.
And you in L.A. now. You telling jokes for real.
Yeah, I know, for real. I'm telling jokes for real now. So I went up, and I had a good set. He was like, hey, man, you funny. People don't know, Kevin got a real cool vibe off stage. Like, he be like, hey, what's up, guys? In front of the camera, but off camera, he be like, you funny. He was like, but talk about yourself more.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's when I was like, he know what the fuck he talking about, because at this point, that's when he was starting to pop.
Right. It's kind of like what I told you, remember? But when you're young in the game, you feel like, but I'm not interested.
Right.
I'm just hustling. I'm just trying to make it. You're not really. That's where the chops come on. That's when the paying the dues comes in. That's when you've been in this. You're starting to live.
Yeah. And
you have stories. So like one of the number one things people ask me is, how do you come up with material? Traveling, being out and about, seeing things, doing things. Then it's back to what Kevin said, back to what I told you earlier. Then it does become about you, because what this joke I'm about to tell you is what happened to me.
Right.
Like I saw this. This is my perspective. This really happened to me. I remember a lot of my friends. I remember like shout out David Arnold, right?
Oh man, he's one of my favorites too.
David
man.
told me, he goes, this is before I had kids. He goes, man, I can't wait till you have kids, nigga. I can't wait to hear your daddy material. It's funny, that stayed with me because all my friends were having kids before me. I'm like the last of the Mohicans. I waited till it was right, till I found the right wife and found the right situation.
Nice.
But I always would laugh at their
Ivory Queen is what I like to call them.
Thank you very much. Shout out to my beautiful wife, Brazy. But it would be, her name's Brazy, right? People like, nigga, was your wife a blood, nigga? You see Sue Woo? No, I would tell you it's real simple. Her dad's name is Brad. Her mom's name is Rosie.
There you go.
So they took the BRA and then the SIE at the end of Rosie, and they came up with Brazy.
You got to name one of your kids Rosie. The next one, you got Rosie Perez.
Well, I got my left nut removed,
there you
nigga.
have
So
it. There you have
yeah,
it.
my new name is gonna be Uno, nigga. I'm done with kids. Yeah, niggas get snipped. I got neutered. Like I have one ball. My new name's Uno, nigga.
What you had, like cancer, testicular cancer?
No, nigga, I just didn't want to have no more kids, nigga.
So they removed the ball. You ain't just do the.
Now that's well, I'll tell you, I'm lying. I made that up for the joke.
Okay, I'm about to say, what the fuck?